Hello everybody, this is Jeff, the Hawaiian Volcanic. Hey gang, welcome back to the channel. Today's project, I'm going to be upgrading the front and rear door speakers in my Chevy Silverado. So let's take a look at what I'll be installing and some of the accessories and start volcanicking. Okay, so these are the speakers that I'll be installing. These are the Kicker DSC650s. These are 6.5-inch speakers, and I installed a set of these in my wife's old Xterra a while back, but we've sold the Xterra since then. And I like the sound of it in my wife's Xterra, and I said, you know what, maybe I should upgrade my speakers. Now, the speakers in a Chevy Silverado, the front speakers are 6x9s, and the rear are 6.5s. And being that I've got this subwoofer, these 212s that I installed recently in there, I want a little bit more clarity. Now, the 6x9s, do have some bass that comes through, but while you're turning it up, it kind of muddles the sound a little bit because of the distortion. The 6x9s can't handle that low end, so it starts to distort the mids and the highs. So these speakers here come highly recommended and a good solution to get rid of that muddiness. So I'm hoping for more clear highs, better mid bass, overall just better imaging of sound through the cab. So all right, so in the box you got a little installation guide. Kind of gives you tips on how to wire these up to an amplifier. And now these are 4 ohm speakers, so you can actually run them in parallel to run them down to 2 ohms. A little bit of information there as far, technical specs as far as signal to noise ratio and max watts and all that fun stuff. And the speakers, these already come with the grills, and they're actually not that bad looking, but I won't be needing those. And here are the speakers themselves. It comes with the mounting hardware, and you got some wiring as well. So what I'm going to end up doing is probably using butt connectors to install these. The wiring in the OEM speakers are on a harness or a clip. So I'm going to have to cut these wires and kind of splice them in and connect them with butt connectors. So and that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. I'm hoping for a little bit more clarity as far as the sound is concerned. I mean, it's a pretty shallow mount, but again, in my wife's Xterra, I mean, it sounded really good. So now, to complete the installation, I had to purchase these adapters, and you'll see why. The OEM speakers are actually built in to these adapters on the truck now. So these are OEM fit. Just mount the 6.5s in there and just bolts in seamlessly. These are for the fronts, and then these are for the rear speakers as well. So to successfully install these, painlessly, probably a good idea to get the correct mounting hardware. So I'll leave a link in the description below for these adapters and these speakers as well. Alrighty, so the screws are hidden behind the handle right here. There's a little cover here that has one screw. You've got another panel down here, the cover right down in here. You're gonna have to remove 2 of them there, and then 2 7mm bolts. So one here and one there. And after that, it's just removing screws behind this hidden panel. There's one in here that you have to remove to completely free the panel. The rear is the same. So you've got that panel to pop right there, this one down here, And right down here, I think it's just one 7mm screw there. So installation time on something like this is roughly about 30 minutes per side. If you know your way around pretty quick, it could be even quicker. The only thing that you need to be careful or watch for is make sure that you phase the speakers right. Identify where your positive and your negative leads are, and make sure you have those connections straight. If you don't, then you're going to get some phasing issues where it's going to sound like your music's like in surround sound. There's like no bottom. It sounds really tinny. So that's the only thing you got to really pay attention to in these types of installations. So with that said, let's start broadcasting. All right, gang. Well, that wraps it up. Another project done. These Kicker 6.5-inch speakers installed in the front and rear door panels, front and rear doors. Pretty straightforward. Struggled a little bit with the harness. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment sections, and if you guys are having difficulty with getting that harness off, I can give you some tips. Now, I've taken apart the door panels here maybe half a dozen times, so it was pretty easy for me. I already knew the process, but what is really important with any kind of installation is making sure that the wires are phased properly. So again, the general rule is if the wire has a stripe on it, it's usually the negative wire. And a lot of times when you buy aftermarket speakers, they're not plug and play. You're going to have to cut and splice, solder, or use butt connectors to complete that connection. So the sun's gone down, so I'm just going to have to shoot another video on how it sounds. But if you guys have any questions, again, leave a comment in the comment section. So, and really appreciate you guys checking out the channel. I'll have a couple other things that are coming up here in the next couple of videos. If you like the content, like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the other side. This is your Hawaiian Volcanic. Aloha.